So what do you think? But do you think Cordelia will like it?
Okay. Are we doing a whole Xander? Because we know Xander's going to get confused about this, right? Is, you know, talking about this, and he's going to think they're a bit closer perhaps, and they are, at least romantically.
Okay,
Might be judging too soon. Fair enough.
I'm sorry, but never.
She dyed her hair blonder.
The only other person I'm interested in is unavailable.
Ugh.
Cordy and I are really getting along.
Yeah, buddy, you should be,
I'm glad that you guys are getting along.
I mean, look, hey, it's messy. They're kids, right? It's supposed to be a bit messy. It usually is.
I wish dating was like slaying, you know? Simple.
Oh, God. It is, though. It is as simple as asking someone, being on it, whatever. Not really a kick. Bit of a trick. Kick in! There we go. Never mind. Too early. I was that's on me. That is on me. Forget it. Behave yourself.
Excuse me. Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's gonna be a whole thing because you're dating Xander, right?
Red and black. Is that what Xander likes?
Yeah, okay. We're doing this. This is good. This is good. We should be, you know, I like that the show is kind of almost, because I see them forcing both of them almost to make decisions. Because this is going to make a question, is what I'm feeling worth it, right? That's going to be the question. Is it worth what these girls are doing and giving me? And, you know, is it something I want to fight for? How much do I like him? Is it real? Am I going to stick around? Which, good. Right? Same for Xander. I think Xander's got to start approaching that too, of, you know, he was complaining to Buffy there and arranging it almost. I mean, she was arranging it in a way of like, I just feel like, you know, maybe there's someone better. And it's like, guys, she's fine. She's got her issues, right? I have been, you know, the advocate, the mouthpiece, I suppose, for that as well, right? Throughout the series. But I've seen a lot of progress from her, and she has enamored herself to me a little bit. And I think there's some good there too. And she's a young girl. She's still finding herself. She's still got to iron out some of this stuff. Same as Xander, right? I've obviously also criticised him too. So yeah, it'd be nice to maybe get them both have to confront their feelings and really just be like, am I serious about this? Do I like them enough to get past Xander with his Buffy thing and Cordelia with this, right? Good.
When are you two gonna start wearing cute little matching outfits?
I do feel like Cordelia might manhandle them a little bit. Not physically, but, you know, like mean girl them. You know what I mean?
No F for Xander. This baby's my ticket to a sweet D-.
Don't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling.
Hey, Amy. Hey.
She's back. Where'd she go?
What about you? Oh, Valentine's Day.
Bad breakup, huh?
Believe me when I say uh-huh.
Oh, God.
Thank you, Amy.
Okay. So she's not got rid of the witchy stuff completely then.
Could I have a word?
Have a sentence even.
Oh, good.
Back
Well,
it up.
Oh, yeah, where are we all? Still not okay, fair enough.
Rupert?
it's Calendar.
Tyler.
I was hoping that we could, do you have a minute?
Actually, not just now.
I get Buffy. I do get Buffy. It is different, sorry. What I was going to say was that I don't quite... I mean, look, I understand if Giles needs a little bit of space. This is what I mean. I get Buffy being, you know, this reaction, but it seems a little rich coming from Rupert, considering, obviously, what's happened to, you know, Miss Calendar, considering what he did when he was younger and the repercussions of that and the episode we got, right? At the same time, even so, Giles deserves his space to process that too. Absolutely. Buffy, I get a bit more so. I don't know, I do feel like Jenny is redeemable though. And like, look, I didn't really go into it so much because it wasn't really the focus, but I do think Jenny's conduct throughout, you know, the two-parter we got and everything to do with Angel, I think she gave a good go of it. I think there was a lot there that she did right, and she questioned as well. She questioned, she argued, she was like, yeah, but Angel's been good, you know. She was kind of a voice for dissension amongst, with the hat guy coming in and, you know, being vengeance, you know, and all that stuff. She spoke against him a lot and was like, for me generally throughout that whole thing, despite the kind of revelation we got and how bad that was maybe at face value and maybe a betrayal, and I think it's valid for the others to feel that too, I think she gave enough during that two-parter that set her on the side of, if not on the side of Buffy and the gang, she definitely wasn't fully on the side of, what was it, the hat guy either. She was kind of a little bit of a middle ground, and I think yeah, a lot to be redeemed there. But all that being said, completely fair. Yeah, Willow looking at her with empathy, I think. Completely fair that everyone needs space, especially Buffy.
Are you okay?
I was more concerned about you.
Nice.
Since Angel,
Yeah, good.
I've been reading up on his earlier activities.
Oh, okay.
Suffice it to say, I think it would be best if you stayed off the streets.
And let him do that to someone else. I don't think Buffy's going to do that.
Better safe than sorry.
It's a little late for both.
This is the thing. Yeah, I get that, but I don't think at this point she is going to just sit down and do nothing.
Fancy it, pet?
Hello.
It's beautiful.
Nothing but the best for my girl.
Right.
Happy Valentine's Day, Drew.
Interesting that we're getting the Valentine's Day theme, and it's interesting that it's coupled with this reintroduction of the trio, and you know, the show kind of going out of its way to remind you of its dynamic, of the dynamic of them, right? And you know, I touched on it a little bit in Innocence, but this idea, and I replied to a comment there, but I didn't put it in a video, so I'll talk about it now. But this idea of this love triangle, and there was a scene where I think Drew had her hand on Spike, and Angel came over and took it off of Spike and took her with him, right? And I do think this is the thing, the comment that I replied to was talking about this idea of Drew's affection, and I don't think she is particularly thinking of it as a love triangle. I think she likes them both, but I do think her kind of whatever it is that she holds to Spike, and I think maybe love isn't too far of a leap to make, at least love in some form, some way, it's still there. That's not changed. And I think Angel is this kind of rough around the edges, kind of bad boy coming in, kind of almost forcibly taking her from Spike. Whether he can come between them truly, who knows, we'll see. But I think, you know, obviously we had Innocence, we had last episode, and we're coming to 216 here, and this reminder immediately of that dynamic, everything that I've just talked about, this almost soft, warm gift that Spike's given her, very normal, almost very human, that she loved, and she was like, oh, it's lovely. And I mean, look at this face here that we've paused on, and the way that I think Angel coming in unceremoniously, rough around the edges, bad boy coming in, a bloodied heart, right? And I think it characterizes both him and Spike where they're at in regard to Drew, and Drew liking both of them for different reasons, right? Because I think this face here is very much like, oh, this is just what I wanted too. It's a really interesting dynamic, and I wouldn't go so far as to call it a love triangle so much. It's a triangle of some sort, some kind, but I do think the solid relationship seems to be her and Spike. She's just got history with Angel, and Angel is liable to get in the way of the two of them, and like I say, I think kind of almost forcibly take her away from Spike in some instances. And it's a hotbed, it's foundation of a really interesting story, because it's going to be interesting to see how this ends. I mean, this trio that we saw kind of get together when Angel got turned to Angelus, and the camaraderie and the warmth between them, the foundations that are being set here, the stuff that I'm talking about, means that trio, that warmth, can't last. And I do wonder what they're going to do with that, right? And how they're going to manifest that in the show. It's interesting though.
It's still warm.
Yeah, there we go. Let it look. Competition. He's not looking at Drew, he's looking at Spike. No, okay. Don't poke fun.
Cute.
Mm-hmm.
Here.
Interesting gesture, isn't it? Taking Spike's gift and putting it on her himself, right? Taking the power in this dynamic, this trio, away from Spike. Symbolic.
I know Drew gives you pity access, but you have to admit it's so much easier when I do things for her.
You would do well to worry less about Drew.
More about that Slayer you've been tramping around with.
Both of them punching below the belt. And I think Angel, interestingly, talking about this pity access, and no, he's wrong. I think Drew does genuinely still like Spike, and nothing's changed in their relationship. I'd say more so like it's just that there's been something added to it in Angelus.
Angel always knows what speaks to a girl's heart.
Oh, hey!
Mate, you're better off without him. That's what I'd like to see from Cordelia, rather than trying to worm her way back into that group, is to kind of be like, I don't need them. They're not good for me. They're being mean, and maybe fit a bit more firmly into Xander and Willow's and Buffy's and that kind of makeup, right? I think it would be healthier for her, better for her. Damn.
Mom?
Teasing us, okay.
Somebody, left these for you.
Oh, yikes. Yeah, buddy, thank you. Well done, mate. Come on, I'm fighting your corner, Xander, mate. Bit of maturity, you've got this.
You look so good.
I let Buffy dress me.
No, don't say that.
Had to make this harder, didn't you?
Oh, she's gonna break up with him.
Let me finish.
Maybe he's gonna change her mind.
And you can chalk it all up to hormones.
But
Maybe that's all we have here, but maybe not. Maybe something in you sees something special inside me. So,
nice. Oh, so he bought something for her, which is a big deal to her. We know that.
It's beautiful. I want to break up.
I mean, look, this is the thing. She's doing this because of her group of friends, and I think she's acting on her emotions and how she feels and the way that she's, you know, been belittled by them and made to feel, you know, inferior to them. And I think for Cordelia, that's a big deal. So I get it. It's emotional response, and I don't think she actually wants to break up with him truly. She's just doing it, like I say, for those reasons, right? Which is nothing to do with him. And I actually like how they framed this, because this, her admitting her feelings for him, and actually if their relationship takes the next step, and her being okay with that, and being okay with someone like Xander, who is socially categorized as the nerd, as uncool, right? Which is the opposite to the way that Cordelia is portrayed and, you know, has been her role in the show. And I think as a character, it would be a huge deal and a huge step for her to make, to actually find a way emotionally to be okay with that and accept, you know, whatever might come from her friends or the school or whatever it might be by being with him. And so like, I really, really like the framing for this and what I think we could build up to here. And I think the gesture that he's made here is perhaps going to be the thing that brings her back a little bit or change her mind later on.
We don't fit.
Don't matter.
okay.
I say it doesn't matter, but also like the idea that they don't fit, they do fit. It's just your idea of the both of you doesn't fit, which is different.
Do you know what's a good day to break up with somebody? Any day besides Valentine's Day.
Yeah. It's not ideal.
I didn't mean to do it this way.
Well, you did.
Oh, bless him. Big on him for, you know, buying a gift, and actually that's a big gesture for him. I know it is, right? It's a commitment.
Way to get dumped.
It's all right, mate. Man, kids can be cruel.
Maybe you should learn a second language so that even more girls can reject you.
Yeah, Cordelia sat there. You're not happy, mate, are you? Whoa, buddy, get off her.
Good to see you. You're a witch. But I'm about to blackmail you, so I thought I'd bring it up.
Okay.
What do you want?
Not, Remember the name of the episode? What is it? Bewitched, Bothered, and Bewildered. Okay. Xander, this isn't the way.
I want for once to come out ahead.
This sounds like some powerful magic, mate.
We're gonna cast a little spell.
This is the thing. I think if you just wait, Cordelia will work it out for herself that this isn't what she actually wants, but...
I want her to want me, desperately, so I can break up with her.
God damn it, dude.
Oh, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Intent has to be pure with love spells.
Yeah, and also, this is the thing. When she finds out what you did, my suspicion that she is gonna get there on her own, and that she does like him, and that this is all temporary. And I don't blame him for the emotional response. I mean, he's a kid again. You know, some adults don't have control over their emotional responses. I get it. At the same time, what he's doing here is gonna mean that something that I think will fix itself kind of on its own is gonna mean that she's gonna realize what he did, and then that's actually gonna be grounds for her not to like him for doing that, right? And making her, like, taking away her autonomy.
I'll need something of hers.
Amy, just bewitch Xander to go away. I mean, this isn't the answer either. Yeah, like, Amy's got to stop bewitching people, you know?
I can't just hang around, and I can't prepare when I don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
Of course, you're right. Sit down.
I think she has re-dyed her hair. Sorry, it's not important. Is she dyed? I assume she's less blonde than this.
I just want the necklace back.
What? You're pathetic.
I mean, it's quite revealing, Cordelia, innit, that you want to keep the gift from the guy that you just broke up with. Again, give it time. She'll come back, man. Cordelia, just admit you want to keep it and admit why. Oh, yeah, man.
It's a good thing we broke up. Now I don't have to pretend I like it.
Mm-hmm. I'm rooting for him. You know, I think they'd be good for each other. Yeah, dude. Whoa.
Diana,
Nip, sorry.
goddess of love and the hunt,
Nipple! Sorry, I had to get out, do you know what I mean?
until he submits to his will.
This is gonna go wrong, innit? How's it gonna go wrong?
What?
Was he thinking of Buffy or something?
Sorry, my mistake.
Okay, well, this is kind of good because we're avoiding the reality of what I was talking about of her not being okay, that he used a love spell on her. So, but I do think he was thinking of Buffy, or at least perhaps the spell latched onto his, I don't want to say love, obsession with her, right?
I heard about you and Clardy. That's her loss.
Yeah.
You know what
Okay.
I'd like?
Okay.
Why don't you and I do something together tonight?
Okay, we're doing it. Okay.
We can comfort each other.
Well, would lap dancing enter into that scenario at all?
Whoa.
Very comforting.
My guy. Mate, I like the whole thing about like being in your corner earlier.
Heard that you and Cordy broke up, and I guess I was just surprised how glad I was.
Xander,
Go on, Amy, what's up?
can I talk to you for a minute?
Please do.
Yeah, okay.
Big episode for Xander, innit? Like, look, okay, so let's do a little bit of a pause because I was, okay, about 5 minutes ago, I was thinking I'm actually quite enjoying the episode because I do like the whole stuff with Xander and Cordelia and dealing with that and progressing that relationship and, me kind of coming out with these things of like, it's fine. There is actually genuine affection between them. They'll find their way back to it. And now obviously we've done a bit of a U-turn and we're focusing on the Xander Buffy thing, which makes my eyes roll right back into my head. But shift of focus, right? I was thinking of it as this thing, the episode was focusing more so on Cordelia and Xander. It's focusing very firmly, very specifically, I think, on Xander. And I see potential for this. I wanted to see more progress from Cordelia as well, but I think we've left that kind of... I think that's going to come back. Maybe we'll see that at the end of the episode. We'll, revisit that maybe. But I think what we are focusing on more specifically, like I say, is Xander. And I think I have faith... I hope that he'll get to a point where, he's going to realise, I think Amy's going to tell him now, or, he's going to work it out that obviously it worked on Buffy and Buffy's feelings aren't real. And he's going to work out that it's not worth having unless it's real. And, maybe coming to some conclusion of putting, the Buffy thing behind him, working out where his feelings are for Cordelia, and actually settling him a little bit more firmly in regard to all of this stuff. It's interesting, isn't it? You look at kind of almost, we have two triangles, right? Two love triangles, for lack of a better word. Symmetry of, we've got the Angel, Drew, Spike, and we've got Xander, Buffy, and Cordelia. And the show's kind of mirroring the good guys, the bad guys. I think with both of them, the very messed up ways that they exist in, or at least the unhealthy ways. I don't think each triangle, it's good for any of the players involved. I don't think Buffy's going to benefit from Xander holding this torch for her. Xander's not going to benefit from holding this torch for someone who doesn't like him that way and really just latching onto that, despite the conversation they had in season 1 where he was told point blank there was nothing there. Cordelia not benefiting from this way that she's taking this stance of he's a nerd, he's a geek, can't be with him. Xander obviously feeling the brunt of that too. I've talked about obviously Angelus, Drew and Spike and how that's not particularly healthy. We've seen how that's not particularly healthy for either of them. Drew is very much an unwitting almost participant. Angel is Angel and he's just messed up, right? You can't really do much for him. But I think it's interesting in that one, in that triangle, that I think Spike is almost the one that you latch onto empathetically. Like Drew is very waif-like. She is very just kind of going along with it. I think her feelings for both of them exist and that's where she is and she's absolutely fine with that. And I think Angelus obviously manipulating that to his own benefit to hurt Spike. Spike very much has these feelings and it's funny how his character is thrown into stark contrast against Angelus, the necklace versus the human heart, and Spike is arranged as the good guy in that, right? And so I think, yeah, like I say, it builds up your empathy towards him and he's kind of the good guy in that situation, the one that you kind of want to see win. Interesting parallel symmetry that we have in the show so far, and I think I see a potential for the end of this being good for Xander, and I hope that, right? Because again, like I say, I think, I saw where this was going in the Buffy thing and I roll my eyes. I hope we get something from Xander and we see some progress. That's what I want to see.
I don't think the spell worked out right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can always try again. We can just hang out.
Oh God, okay.
Well, I liked spending time with you.
Oh my God.
It's funny how you can see a person every day and and
Not really see them.
Okay, is that gonna snap him out of it? Yeah, it's not real, dude.
I thought maybe we could study together tonight.
Okay, they're all blondes. Good, I like it. It's so ridiculous it's gonna make him see that this isn't good. Jesus.
Sorry. I wanted to surprise you.
Willow as well?
Will, I think I know what you've been thinking, but this is all my fault.
Let her finish.
But friendships change all the time.
Okay, no, this went very wrong.
I want you, Xander.
Okay.
I don't want to use force.
Didn't love that sound, if I'm honest with you, mate.
It's time for me to act like a man.
Or just act like a good person. You don't have to bring gender into it, dude.
Very funny. What did I do now? Wear red and purple together?
So, right. Yeah, Cordelia's the only one not affected. That's kind of hilarious.
Only a sick pup would let Xander get away, no matter what her friends said.
Right, no. Okay, so he was thinking of Cordelia, and that's why she's unaffected. Okay, good. And the spell just went wrong, and it affected everyone else. I like that better than what I thought. I mean, this is good, because this is going to show her that regardless of what people think, what her friends think, it doesn't change how she feels about Xander. That is the only thing that is static, right? That's the only thing that doesn't change. And I think this scenario is going to show her that, right?
To make you people happy.
You should be asking yourself what makes you happy. Hey, my favourite extra, mate. How you doing, dude? I love that guy. I don't know why. Maybe because he's not Xander. I'm so sorry. I apologise.
I made a mess, Giles. I was hurt, I guess, so I...
Nice shirt.
Oh, God.
I know that you're angry at me, and I don't blame you.
Take your hand off him.
I care far too much about you.
Oh, my God.
I cannot believe that you are fool enough to do something like this.
Yeah, it was foolish.
Oh, no, I'm twice the fool it takes to do something like this.
Good. Good that you acknowledge.
Do you have any idea how serious this is?
It's, yeah.
People under a love spells and are deadly. They lose all capacity for reason. Don't leave the library.
Take Jenny away.
Stop to this thing.
Take Jenny away. No. Yep. Thank you, sir.
No.
I mean, look. Taking myself outside of this for a second. He's a kid, didn't have emotional control. The philosophical question, the hypothetical question of like how many kids would do this because they're idiots. Probably a lot, right? Fair enough. It's goofy, it's silly, it is what it is. Oh God, please tell me you got stuff under that.
Buff, give me a heart attack.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you more than that.
Okay. No, keep it on.
Don't open that raincoat.
Yeah.
It's a party.
No.
Sometimes a remote, impossible possibility that you might like me was all that sustained me. Not like this.
Good. No, okay. Full reverse. Good, because a true creep wouldn't care. This makes me more inclined to see him as more of a kid, acting unwisely on emotions that he hasn't fully got under control.
I mean, if I thought you had one clue what it would mean to me, but you don't, so I can't.
You make me feel this way and then you reject me?
Oh God.
What am I, a toy?
Buffy, please.
She is the Slayer though.
Get away from him.
Okay.
He's mine.
Yeah, this is not ideal. Something I don't mention is that during this scene and in the scenes that follow, the feminine element to this picture is portrayed as catty or crazy over a guy that doesn't want them. Buffy's line of, "I'm just a toy," also trivializes the way that men can and do treat women this way, while painting Xander as this hero that wouldn't infringe on someone's modesty. I'm not taking back what I said about Xander a second ago, but that masculine picture directly compared with this feminine picture doesn't offer a very balanced or fair portrayal. Coupled with this is Cordy's representation. She's arranged as the mean girl, dumping Xander on V-Day while his portrayal is very sympathetic. The way this story is told is through a lens of men honourable, women bad, which I didn't fully pick up on until rewatching in the edit, as I think the focus is very much on Xander. I will say that any one of the things I mentioned in isolation aren't necessarily bad. Regardless of gender, anyone can perpetrate the things they're perpetrating here, but taken all together, I think we end up with a really twisted representation of gender expectation. Cordelia ends up humbled, and as a girl that was mean and made a bad choice based on vanity that hurt a guy, Buffy, Amy and co are portrayed as tearing each other down to get a guy. Buffy here is arranged as crazy for being made to feel like a toy, which is a serious thing that does happen, and it's placed in this arena of isn't this all goofy and silly, while Xander comes out as the honourable man that stepped up. The overall message is a bit off and definitely skews more towards showing and gushing over the positives of a good man, while arranged against several perceived negatives and harmful stereotypes often associated with women. This story is very much through the male gaze, and I think is another example of a story that suffers from being told through Joss's eyes, which is a shame.
I know what your face wants.
Okay, she can't be doing that to people.
What is this, you're two-timing me?
Oh my God.
That is Hecate, work thy will.
Oh God.
Buffy!
Frog?
Oh my God.
Okay. Please be a frog. Classic, innit? Man, what a mess. Oh, sorry, nothing against rats. I'm just really wanting a frog.
Who made you queen of the world? Well, you're old enough to be.
Goddess Hecate.
Not again, dude.
Quit with the heck.
Thank you.
What now? You don't like my locker combination?
You never loved him. You just...
I mean, hey, we are kind of focusing a bit more firmly, not just on Xander. Yeah, okay, fine. God, I'm back and forth, aren't I? Yeah, no, we are focusing on Cordelia and Xander, which is good. I like the focus. I don't particularly love the form it's taken. It's a little bit cringe. It's a little bit ick, because I do feel like it is indulging Joss's predilections, let's say. But I think it's going to make them both realise, Xander and Cordelia, what's important here, how they feel, and how the things outside of themselves aren't important, right? I think Xander's getting that too, with the way that he's realizing here that he doesn't want Buffy unless it's real. And I think perhaps if he notices that it's not real, and, you know, that message again, I mean, it shouldn't take this several times for her to say it to, you know, go in. But I mean, if that's what it takes, then that's what it takes for him to be like, no, okay, that's not how she feels, and he can focus on Cordelia. Cordelia, I think, like I say, is going to realize that actually what they think doesn't matter. And even when they think the opposite of what has made her break up with Xander, it's not worth it. Oh my god.
Oh, just go home. Lock yourself away. You're not going to cause more problems here.
Good, he deserves a bit of a dressing down for this, Giles. Well done, mate.
You thought you could do better, is that it?
Yeah, good. Take Cordy with you. Have a good talk, yeah? My god.
Cordelia's necklace actually protected her from the spell.
Right. Okay.
I should have known I'd find you with her.
An axe, Willow. Okay.
I love you so much. I'd rather see you dead than with that bitch.
Dear Lord. Oh, this escalated, man.
Why don't you run upstairs and grab some bandages? I'll get you something to drink.
Hey, I wonder if he'll be honest here and whether she's going to counsel him a little bit. That would be nice.
More of a hot night, don't you?
No, oh, come on.
What are you doing? Cordelia, go back upstairs. This is between us.
Oh my god. Right, my first instinct when he came in here was that she was going to be affected by it too. And then when she was like, go up and, you know, and I saw her going around and like talk to me about it, I was like, is she actually going to sit down and he's going to tell her how he feels about Buffy? And she can come in with a little bit of a lighter touch and perhaps giving him some advice. Oh god. I feel like that would have been the better option, if I'm completely honest with you.
And keep your mom-aged mitts off my boyfriend.
Your what, mate?
Former.
Oh.
Upstairs, Buffy's room.
No, leave the house. She'll find you there.
Just be safer up here.
Oh, God.
Works in theory.
Oh, come on. What's going on? It's chaos. Is the mob gonna come and save him? Is this episode like a metaphor for teen hormones, like the chaos and the anarchy and the back and forth? Because honestly, I feel exhausted. Drew?
Don't fret, kitten.
Oh.
Mummy's here.
Mate, go along with it.
Your face is a poem. I can read it.
Really?
Yeah, good luck getting out of this, dude. Okay.
How do you feel about eternal life?
Well.
We couldn't just start with a coffee?
Maybe. Suggest a latte, mate. Okay. There they are. Beautiful. Oh my god.
It's never gonna work for us, Xander.
I mean, Amy's just gonna reverse it, right?
If we die in here, I'm gonna kick your ass.
None of this would have happened if you hadn't broken up with me.
Don't put it on her. It was your decision, and you were dumb. Like, don't get me wrong, Cordelia was dumb for giving in to the whims of her friends, right? But that's very human, very normal. Xander, mate, you took it way over the line.
Except your hide's so thick, not even magic can penetrate it.
You mean the spell was for me?
Oh my god, she's gonna love that. She's actually gonna love that. Man, they're kind of perfect for each other, aren't they? When you think about it. Don't make her naked. Yeah, she's naked, okay. Alright, Joss. He did it again? It was a... Xander, you've got to learn how doors work, please. Yeah, how do you explain this to him? Good on you, mate, well done.
Hi, Oz.
Maybe go get a coat or something.
I seem to be having a slight case of nudity here.
But you're not a rat.
Mm-hmm.
Call it an upside.
Very true.
Boy, that was the best scavenger hunt ever.
Willow won't even talk to me.
Any particular reason she should?
Yeah, you messed up, dude. Take the hits.
She loved you before you invoked the great roofie spirit.
Good. I'm glad that we're calling it the roofie spirit. I like that we're, you know, acknowledging the predatory nature of, you know, what he did. Awesome.
I remember begging you to undress me.
And he didn't.
I also remember that you didn't.
Yeah, which is something.
You came through. There might just be hope for you yet.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think we're coming down on... I've been a bit back and forth and a little bit shaky, I think, this episode of, you know, what is the message they're going for? Are they doing enough to offset, you know, the predatory nature of it? But honestly, look, hey, what I think that conversation did and how that was framed, and Buffy talking about roofies, and the focus being, and obviously very specifically, the fact that he didn't take advantage when he had the opportunity, and the line of there is some hope. I think it was meant to highlight that the way to go isn't to take away the autonomy of the person, right? Which, good.
Then watch it. You know, I'm glad your mom stopped working at the drive-thru long enough to dress you.
Whoa.
Did you see Jen?
Cordy?
Oh, Harmony, shut up.
Yes.
Do you know what you are, Harmony? You're a sheep.
Beautiful.
All you ever do is what everyone else does, just so you can say you did it first.
Mm-hmm.
And here I am, scrambling for your approval when... Because I'm not a sheep.
Beautiful. Think for yourself.
And I wear what I want to wear. And you know what?
There we go, we got there.
I'll date whoever the hell I want to date, no matter how lame he is.
Mate, take it.
Oh, God.
It's gonna be okay.
They're never going to speak to me again.
Oh, sure they are. If it helps, whenever we're around them, you and I can fight a lot.
You promise?
I like this. Good. And this is where, like I say, right at the beginning of the episode, when I saw what we were getting, I saw the foundation for where we were going to go. And I like that we got there. And I like it. I like them together. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think they fit. And I think, you know, the episode did actually do a really good job in effectively showing Cordelia and highlighting to Cordelia how much it doesn't matter what her friends think. And, you know, they can think one thing and then they can change their minds and think another. And it's like, well, why am I even making a decision based on what they think, right? Because the only thing that stays the same is the way that I feel about Xander, right? And she got there. Brilliant. And look, you know, it's been touch and go. I think the things to take away were the message of taking the autonomy away from anybody is not the way to go. And as bad as a decision as it was that Xander made, it's very much the decision of a kid losing control of their emotions. And I think Xander doing that and kind of caving to that, you know, in this world of fantasy where love spells exist, it's reasonable to, you know, as dangerous as it is, and the more risk there is, it's reasonable for him to have done that as a kid in this world with this, you know, context at play. Fortunately, it ended. No one got hurt. And I think Xander came out of it at the other end in a pretty good place. He didn't take advantage of Buffy when he knew the situation. Awesome. I think he's realized his mistake. I think Giles was kind of an unsung hero of this episode. I think his inclusion and him actually, it's difficult, innit? I think without Giles actually in this episode, it would have felt a little bit hollow. I'd have felt a bit annoyed almost that, you know, he did make the mistake. And as much as you can kind of humanize it, and you can, and I have, he should know better, right? He is aware of all this stuff. He's aware of the Slayer and the vampires and all these creatures, and he shouldn't be using this amount of power just because he can. Even if it had just been Cordelia, that's still not okay, and he should have known better, right? And without Giles' inclusion and Giles being really harsh to him and actually being the adult of the situation and being like, no, you did wrong, go home, you messed up, this isn't okay. What we actually would have got was, you know, Xander did the thing, everything happened, and then at the end of it, he gets the girl, which is a bit of a reward for his stupid behavior. And so without Giles doing that and being that in the episode, I think it would have lost something. And I think I'm really glad for Giles stepping up and not only being what he was to Xander, but being what he was to Buffy, because I think we saw him not ignoring what happened in, you know, Innocence and everything with Angelus and Buffy. And he came to Buffy at one point and he's been trying to help her through it this episode too. He's been quite a small touch on the episode, but I think really, really integral to actually the message of the episode and the progress that we'd seen. And that's what I wanted. I wanted Cordelia and Xander to come, you know, do some internal work in emotional emotional kind of mulling and get to the place they got to at the end of this episode. I really liked that. I really liked the start, and I really like where we ended up. And I think the middle and the transition wouldn't quite have worked the same way without Giles and his light touch through the episode, doing what he did and actually being that voice for Xander, reprimanding him and really making him feel the seriousness of it. And again, I think goes to show that I think what I've talked about previously in this guardianship of making sure kids like Xander get the care that they need, the advice that they need, and are told off when they should be as well, is important, right? And that guidance is so important to making sure that they get to a place where they're more mature and they can process emotions and they can act in ways that don't harm other people more so, and you know what I mean? And I think all in all, a good episode. I think it was a little bit goofy at a certain point when the mob was happening, the Drew stuff and the Angelus and the, you know, Buffy's mom and all that stuff was happening. It is what it is. I didn't dislike that. It just, you know, was part of the episode. But I think, you know, some serious themes that we kind of dealt with, and I think the way that the conclusion of the episode settled in a lot of ways was really good, considering what was brought up and the predatory nature of everything. That message at the end was so important, of Buffy saying, yeah, but you didn't go too far. You didn't do the thing. As much as you made a mistake and got to that place, you didn't step over the line, and there's hope for you yet, which I think is nice and good. But anyway, that's all from me. That was Bewitched, Bothered, and Bewildered. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please do subscribe down below, like the video if you liked it, and all that good stuff. Hey, there's some links down below if you'd like to support me. Early access to all of my videos down there if you fancy it, mate. But thank you, as always, to those that do support me. Genuinely, you're so cool. That's all the Buffy from me this time, but there'll be more coming very soon. Click on either of these videos if you want to keep the hype train rolling. But other than that, that's it from me. Be well, be good. I hope you have a good week, and I'll see you soon.